Underdog and the Bully. This is a strong and emotionally grounded story already. The pacing builds well, the repetition reinforces the failure of the adults to act, and the conclusion delivers a meaningful lesson without becoming preachy. Underdog and the Bully. There once was a young boy everyone called Underdog. He wasn't the loudest child in the room, nor the biggest. He was quiet, respectful, and thoughtful. At 3.5 years old, he stepped onto the mats of Haut's family Taekwondo school for the very first time. Over the next 4 years, he learned how to block, punch, kick, and problem solve. But more importantly, he learned discipline, courage, and perseverance. By the age of 7, he proudly earned his black belt. Every morning, Underdog rode the school bus. Like many children, he knew there were students who teased others, pushed limits, and looked for easy targets. One of those students was a bully named Billy. One cold morning, as the bus doors opened and students began filing out, Billy suddenly leaned over and punched Underdog square in the face. Underdog stumbled back in shock. His eyes watered, not only from the pain, but from confusion. He had done nothing to provoke Billy. Instinctively, he turned and reported the incident to the bus driver, expecting help from the adult in charge. The bus driver glanced at him and shrugged. "There's no blood," he said dismissively. "Go to class." Underdog walked away unsettled. His martial arts training had taught him many things, but one lesson stood above the rest. When something is wrong, you keep seeking help until someone listens. So he went to his teacher and quietly explained what had happened. His teacher immediately stopped what she was doing. "What did the bus driver do?" she asked. Underdog repeated the response. "He said there was no blood and told me to go to class." The teacher's expression changed instantly. Without hesitation, she walked Underdog to the principal's office. The principal listened carefully as Underdog told the story once again. "And what did the bus driver do?" she asked. Underdog answered exactly as before. "He said there was no blood and told me to go to class." This time, the principal became visibly upset. She stood up immediately and said, "Come with me." Together, they walked back to the bus where the driver was still seated. The principal climbed aboard and asked firmly, "What happened between Billy and Underdog this morning?" The bus driver casually replied, "Billy hit him, but there wasn't any blood, so I sent him on his way." The principal stared at him in disbelief. Her frustration quickly turned to anger. "You are responsible for the safety of every child on this bus," she said sternly. "Pack up your belongings. You're fired." The driver sat speechless. But before he left, the principal turned toward the remaining children on the bus. "I have one question," she said. "Raise your hand if Billy has ever punched you in the nose." At first, only a few hands rose. Then more, and more, until every child on that bus had their hand in the air. The silence that followed said everything. You see, Underdog's courage did more than help himself. By speaking up, he uncovered a problem that every child had been silently enduring. Because he refused to stay quiet, the truth finally came to light. When children ask how they should defend themselves against bullies, the answer is rarely simple. Every situation is different. Some children naturally project confidence, while others are quieter and avoid conflict altogether. But regardless of personality, there are important steps every child can learn. Who else knows the bully is causing harm? Have you clearly told them to stop? Can you avoid them or stay close to trusted friends? Can you document what happened? Can you tell a teacher, counselor, parent, or principal? These steps take courage. They take repetition. They take trust. Most importantly, they take persistence. Because sometimes the first person you tell won't help. Sometimes the second person may not understand. But somewhere there is a person who will listen. There is a person willing to stand up and protect you. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to cry. It's never okay to give up. The moral of my story is true courage is not about hurting others or proving how strong you are. True courage is refusing to stay silent when something is wrong. Keep speaking up, keep seeking help, and never stop believing that your voice matters.